So being already present in the sensor market, so it was in a way natural for us to progress towards the healthcare applications. Now, if you see this in the slide, you see the array of products which can actually be used in the final products, which many people have talked about and which are going to come in the future. So if you see in the left-hand side in the top, so we see accelerometer, which can actually capture the movement of body. So we have seen some example in the earlier presentations where the shoes, if you implant a chip, it can actually the count or measure the movements of the individual. It can count his activities, exercise, and so on. So it can be used to that. And insulin pumps, I think most of us know. So it requires precise the small pumps, and it should release insulin in the calculated amount by measuring the blood sugar level. It's a dynamic action. So that is one application which is already there, and our products are there. And also to measure the blood pressure. And making microphones was natural for us for the electronic audio appliances. From that, it was easier to bring the products for the hearing appliances, which of course need different kind of specifications. And being in microelectronics, the making microneedles and nozzles to release medicine to our blood was also so natural extension. Similarly, many other applications like measuring temperature, and then also high-end analog to transmit or the measurements what we take in our bodies. So these are the kind of applications which end up in the gadgets. What is interesting is to see the MEMS, which can be actually placed on top of our iris, on top of our eyes, which can measure the pressure and transmit directly to an equipment which can gauge the pressure in our eyes for a longer duration. So especially for diabetic patients, it can really help instead of crossing the threshold of pressure in our eyes. And instead of measuring with most of the equipments, we can measure only when we wear those equipments. Here we can have the equipment, the products, which can be worn in our bodies for continuously for hours together, throughout the day, for days together, which can continuously transmit the let's say heartbeat to the ECG to an equipment which can actually indicate, or it can measure and transmit any danger levels. So the lab-on-chip, which you see, is an extremely important product, which is yet to become popular, but is already a reality which is being used in Singapore, which can be used to measure the kind of infection at the level of DNA. I'll speak about that later. So this is one tie-up what we have with the Mayo Clinic in the US, which must be known is a popular let's say healthcare organization, where this wearable the ECG patch, which is a reality which can be worn and continuously transmit the condition of our heart to the nearby wireless equipment, which can be your mobile phone to the iPad or PC. So this is how the whole network can be established, where we are free to move, and it can be connected to our mobile, which is already connected to us, and it can go to server, and this can be extremely useful in cases where elderly people who are not having proper care by any let's say the kids or the nurses. It can be monitored remotely. Even in the US, parents can be seen. So this is one interesting concept which is already known, but we are coming closer to this solution with the products what we are making in the background. So this, I think you should be knowing the drug delivery. So the traditional oral medicines normally take time. We all know the limitations. It takes time. The control may not be extremely good, and it might take the time to release the medicine to our bloodstream, whereas a transdermal patch can release in a regulated quantity in a slow motion, but it can be reaching our bloodstream directly and immediately, which can give relief pretty faster. So if you see this passive iontophoresis as well as the active. So active is with the electronics where we have even a small battery which is releasing the medicine in a regulated manner. So this can give much faster relief than the oral medicines. So this is another one which is already used the point of care, where we know that a glucometer is used for measuring blood sugar level. But similarly, this can also be extended, which is already there for the malaria screening, HIV, and also for measuring bilirubin quantification for kids. These are all possible with the nanoelectronics, and this is what I was telling, the lab on chip. So this normally can be used to measure the existence of tuberculosis. This particular instrument can identify the varieties of the virus, which is as much as 10 to 15 varieties. It can a single lab on chip can measure, and this goes in the DNA level. And what's interesting is what takes 5 days to measure, this can be reduced to 2 hours of entire diagnosis, and this is pretty much, let's say, sure way of testing, and this is already a reality. This is very interesting and simple application where the patient, when he enters the hospital, he wears a band. It's called, we can call it as medical ID, which has a small chip which will transmit the signals. This can contain all the records of the patient and even the records, whatever the measurements we take, so which goes along with him instead of writing any particular files or the handwritten documents. So this will be with him wherever he goes. So if you come to system level, so we know that we can measure almost everything: the blood pressure, glucose, sugar level, heartbeat, eye pressure, which I mentioned. I'm just summarizing them. And also for movement reconstruction, to know if the patient has, how much he has moved, when he has moved, if he has fallen, if he is really in a risky situation. Right from that to even drug delivery, we have covered various applications, and the applications can be really put onto the body of the patient without actually constraining the patient from movement. So here I'm going to talk about the entire model of delivery of the solution. So though we talk, let's say, nice things for the future, but we know that today's applications are still not a reality. And I would like to speak, let's say, a little bit about what can accelerate. So I had talked about the nice solutions, what the technology company can develop, has developed. But if you see they're not in reality, which is in a way a pity, I would say. I think, this kind of conference can really make a difference. I should thank the organizers. So what you see in the left-hand side is that we have an array of products and solutions, which I think if we put hands together with the service providers, mainly the connectivity companies, as well as the equipment makers and the service providers. So together, if we develop the standards along with the hospitals and doctors, we can provide the solutions much, much faster. I would say the innovation for the measurement and the transmission and the drug delivery is all done. Let's say to a significant effort. We can never say that it's over. But what is already developed, it can be brought into service in the cheapest manner, in the fastest manner to our population if you all join hands together. So finally, I'm concluding my presentation. So our aim together with all of you, I'm sure that there are varieties of, let's say, the profile in this August audience here. So if you all join together, we can make smaller products, portable and wearable, as well as finally disposable, which we can guarantee from semiconductor background. So we have made chips from extremely costly products to very, very cheap products today. So, you can see the revolution in the cell phone industry. The products have become so much cheaper with the same functionality. Of course, we add functionality, the cost may remain higher. But we can bring similar solutions to healthcare by really making disposable, let's say, equipments by joining hands together. So finally concluding, so we do have solutions in various places with the various players. But probably we need to join dots together, and certainly not looking at profit as the first goal. I think we all need to focus on service to humanity as number one. Of course, the profit, okay, which will be the goal of organization, which will anyway come in the background. But I think if you look at the patients and the service to people is the key for all of us to work together. Thank you very much.
We'll stay on the theme of telemedicine. We'll have Deepak from Lifesize Technologies talk to us about telemedicine. They're an innovator in HD video, so we'll talk about video conferencing and telemedicine.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, thanks for bearing with us on a delayed schedule. I'm going to run quickly through it and will not specifically talk about products, but tell you more of a story in terms of how technology should work for us. When you come to healthcare, it's all about saving lives. And if technology can enable us to save lives, then we've made good technology. So it starts about, it's not a real story, but most of what you will hear is mostly true. So a long time ago, we had a lady called Caroline. She was a senior broker. She used to work for a fund manager. She lived in Cambridge, commuted daily to London. Her company decided to go carbon